So very good afternoon, everyone. Hope your preparations have slowly picked up speed. So most of you will be well aware of how the questions came in your AFM in May 2026. So on the note, we're going to see few theory questions from capital budgeting, uh, which will be very handy for you because you never know how ICA will be testing this time. So the first question is, uh, why is it important to analyze the impacts of change in technology in capital budgeting? So these are the various reasons, because change in technology can significantly alter the production process. I repeat, it can impact the production process, the way the products are produced, etc. And also changes can also yield benefits such as improved quality, delivery time, greater flexibility, etc. And change technology can also result in reduction in cost of capital, and improved cash flows can be achieved through technological changes. And also there may be need to incur additional costs in the form of additional capex, etc. And lastly, the sale volume can be impacted because your cost of capital, capex extra is uh, has some impact. So accordingly, it's a cyclical effect, so volume will also be impacted. So these are the various reasons why it is important to analyze the impact of changes in technology with regarding to your capital budgeting decisions. Next question is, the main reason why I'm specifically sharing these things and asking you to focus on these things is, when you read these things, it will take a bit more time to get registered, and also you might even skip these things. So if these questions come straight forward in exam, I don't want you to lose any marks on this kind of questions. So moving on to the next question, what are the various ways in which the impact of change in technology can be incorporated in capital budgeting decisions? So the key things in theory is, you would have read the topic, but you will not interpret the question correctly. So previous reasons is why the impact, I repeat, why the impact should be, that is why it is important to analyze the impacts of change in technology. But now it is, what are the various ways in which the impact of change in technology can be incorporated in capital budgeting decisions. The first one is, at the time of making capital budgeting decisions, the risk of change in technology should be considered using various techniques such as sensitivity analysis, scenario analysis, and simulation analysis, etc. Next is, once project has been launched, analyze the impact of change in technology, both positive and negative, the pros and cons, and revise estimates in monetary terms. Next is, if project continuation itself is proving to be unviable, that is, the project will not even reach to the break-even point, then look for abandonment option and evaluate the same. Lastly, suitably adjust the discounting rates. This is regarding to the question answer for what are the various ways in which the impact of technology can be incorporated in capital budgeting. So moving on to the next question. This is with regarding to your simulation analysis. What are the various shortcomings in simulation analysis? It's one of the very important question which was asked in your RTPs, etc. quite recently. So first one is, in this case, it's difficult to model the project and specify the probability distribution of exogenous variables. I repeat, difficult to model the project and specify probability distribution of exogenous variables. So next is, simulation is inherently imprecise, so it gives only a rough approximation of probability distribution of NPV due to its imprecision. And also, simulation probability distribution may be misleading when a tail of distribution is critical. So you may not reproduce all of these things, but at least you will be expected to reproduce terms like probability distribution of exogenous variables, and also simulation is not precise, etc. Next is, realistical simulation model is likely to be complex and it be constructed by management expert and not by the decision maker. Hence, the decision maker will lack the understanding of the model and he may not be able to use it because a lot of complexities is involved in it. And lastly, determine the NPV in simulation run, risk-free discount, etc. rate is used. So it is done to avoid the prejudging risk. So it is, and it is reflected in the distribution of NPV. So this derived measure of the NPV, it takes a different meaning from its original value and it is difficult to interpret. So last, third and fourth points, it's mainly with regarding to your interpretation, etc. And it'll be, these are the very shortcomings in simulation analysis. So these are the three questions which will be very handy for you. So what I would recommend is parallelly cover the other 2 to 3 topics, namely the similarities between scenario analysis and simulation analysis, etc. All those things, sensitivity analysis also, so that whatever questions that comes from capital budgeting theory, as of now only problems is asked, but if theory question also comes, you can face it with full confidence and make full use of it, and you don't lose a single marks from your 4 marks. So all the best, keep your best wishes.